one of the most talked about actors working today. He was born in Puerto Rico and raised in Pennsylvania in a family of lawyers. Del Toro decided to chart his own path in college when he chose to pursue acting. He first came to our attention with his performance as the mumbling crook Finster in 1995's The Usual Suspects. Since then, he's appeared in such films as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and The Way of the Gun. Currently, he can be seen in 3 films, including Sean Penn's The Pledge and Guy Ritchie's Snatch, a conflicted Mexican cop in traffic that has critics talking about the Oscars. He's already won numerous awards for the performance, including honors from the New York Film Critics and the National Society of Film Critics. Here is a look at his performance. I'm pleased to welcome Benicio Del Toro to this table for the very first time. It is an extraordinary performance in a very good movie. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you here. Steven Soderbergh was here not long ago, and you came by, but wouldn't come on at that time.
I didn't have my tie.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen you in a tie.
Right.
This has got to be satisfying for you.
It is. It is. It truly is.
Yeah.
It's a great part. Working with a great cast, great script, and a great director. You know.
What did you want us to experience from this character, that you played? Who is he, and what is it that we should understand about him?
See, I think as an actor, you go and you make interpretations, and you don't know really if you're gonna hit or miss because you're part of a movie. I think Steven can give you maybe a better answer to that question. But I had a phone call from Donald Sutherland, and I've never met him. He saw the picture. And he quoted, I don't know where's the quote from, but he said, "How does a moral man stay moral in an immoral world?" Mm. And I think that's kind of like the struggle of this character in this film. That conflict of, is he going to be a good guy? Does he have to sell out? So, that's like, it was in the script, so you just try to play it and not keep it close to you so you don't give it away. That way, I think the audience gets a chance to experience the plot through the character, through the acting.
I want to talk a little bit about acting, because it's exactly what this movie's about, too. I mean, in a sense, in terms of your character, for me, your character. I mean, and when everything around him is contaminated, and how you survive in that without being contaminated or becoming part of the problem rather than the solution.
Right.
And in a world in which it's hard to see black and white, because so much of it is gray.
Right.
Does an actor approach it from the script that he's given, in this case, working with this director? How does one go about creating the sense of this man's core, his integrity, his challenge?
Well, I think every actor works first from himself in some ways. So, and then you have the script, and then you have the part, and you have the bones. So I read it, and then I decided I wanted to do some research. I always like to do a little bit of research, even if I'm playing a character that is not based on anyone specific, then I'll take his profession and see what is that like. That might tell you something about the person. So I did, I went to Tijuana and I spent some time there and I talked to people. And what I experienced was like, there's people out there who are trying to do the right thing. And I talked to a retired policeman, and he said many very interesting things. And I go down with a notebook, kind of like a journalist. I go down and I take note, or a tape recorder, and then I will then bring it to the director, or in this case, I had many meetings with Steven. And one of the things that I learned was this guy said, in Mexico, or Tijuana, there is work, and there is people willing to work, but there is no money. So, You know, you have this conflict. Let's get the money. You know, I mean, it's really all about the money in a way. This movie is like, what it's saying is like, you know, it's drugs and all this stuff, you know, the bad guys. It's all about money in some weird way. And I learned other things that are, they go closer to acting, kind of, for example, in Tijuana, what I learned from this officer was that if you are in the police force, you have to buy your own equipment. You will have to provide your own bullets, your own uniform. You have to buy it. So, I mean, things like that ground you as an actor, you know, so you can really feel like you know more about this guy than anybody, at least on that set. And you want to own it, you know, because if you own it, then you can help the film, help the other actors, help yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so I look for, you know, things that can ground me, you know. For example, you know, and there is a line in the film where I say they stole our handcuffs. And what it means now is from the paycheck that I get, which is like peanuts, now I have to go and buy my own handcuffs. And so is my partner. So those are little things that you do, you know, as an actor. And then you work with yourself, and you work with the director. You got to work tight with the director. And Steven Soderbergh is, he's a great actor himself, so he understands. I don't know if you've seen Schizopolis.
Yeah.
He's terrific.
He's an actor, a cinematographer, and a director, and a writer.
Right. And I think that's what makes good directors.
The acting experience, or
that they can play every position.
Okay, exactly, gotcha. You know.
And I think
they can look through the camera. They can be on the other side of the camera.
Exactly.
They can change the script.
Exactly. They might see that the script needs something new. Like Steven, there's a scene right after, well, my partner gets killed, or, and then there was no scene that bridged that scene to the next scene, and he just came up with it right away, and I was kind of going like, why do we need to do that? And when I see it now in the movie, it's like, of course, you need that moment. You need that moment.
The other thing about the role that you play is that everybody around you in the town thinks you're corrupt anyway. So it's doubly difficult to be moral in an immoral world when everybody thinks you're immoral.
Right.
No?
Right.
Perception is not that you're good, but the perception is you're on the take.
Right.
Yeah. Roll take is another clip from Traffic. In the end, why is this guy, this moral man in an immoral surrounding, why is he moral?
I think he's got a vision, you know. And he's
for a ballpark?
Well, not for himself.
To give back. I know, that's
give
what
back
it's beyond
to
him.
To the community. Yeah, to give back to the community, to society, to his people, you know. And I think that's what makes him so, that's why I think we're engaged with him at the end with that scene, which, you know, was written in the script. I think that's what's so engaging about that.
Steven was here, and he said, you know, this movie's doing very well at the box office. It's both critical and commercial success.
Thank God.
The
good guys are winning.
Yeah, the good guys are doing it.
Yeah.
Because of, you know, doing well and doing good at the same time, as they say. Because there were some reservations about studios to make a movie that's about drugs, because the world of film is replete with failures on the part of films trying to deal with the drug issue. I mean, it says something. I don't know why this one connected. Do you know? Other than talent.
I think that it doesn't really pick, you know, sides. It just. I think audiences are smarter than we think they are. Yeah. We in the movie world, you know, and I think that this movie really looks at the audience and says, you know, you're smarter than what most films think that you are.
We respect your intelligence.
We respect your intelligence.
We know you can get this.
Absolutely,
get it, you know.
Absolutely. And it's like, it's subtle and three-dimensional, you know. Yeah.
Do you surprise yourself on film? You look at a performance and see things you didn't think was happening or didn't know was happening?
Yeah. Yeah. I usually there's one or two moments that in film that I go like, I never thought I would go there, and it happens. And when that happens, it's like a beautiful moment, you know. And either time flies or it stops. You know, it's hard to explain. It's kind of like you've done your homework, and you've done it when you do your homework, and you're solid with your homework, and you go and do a part, and now you can fly. Now you can do it and not think about what you should do, or if you were prepared, you know. You get those moments, you know. I've had maybe a moment in traffic. I think I had a few in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I was like, oh my God, where did that come from?
What's the moment in traffic? Does one come to mind?
There was a moment in traffic that I felt like, I think the moment when they killed my partner, right there. I think it's I had thought about that scene many times, and I forgot about one thing. And when I got on the set, and I think that a lot of it has to do with Steve, because of Steven was there, because he allowed that process to catch fire, you know. And I think there was a moment there where my partner gets killed, and I had to get to the car. You know, we're digging the graves, and now...
And they're going to assassinate in the back of the head.
Right, and I have to then walk to the car, and I go, wait a second, they just killed my guy. I got 500 choices here. I could go and cry over my partner's dead body. I can start walking and talking to myself into the horizon. I can fight with these guys, you know, because they're going to kill me, you know. And so I didn't know how to get to the car. And it wasn't written, and me and Steven, we sat there for a while, and everybody's just waiting. And we're just sitting there, and I had this moment where I go, have the guy grab me by the neck.
Yeah.
Boom. Self-contained.
Yeah.
You know, it just, you know, I don't really have to act that much, so it was kind of like I got out of that hole really quick. And then I also think the moment that I get out of the car, and I abandoned the car in the middle of the street in Mexico. You know, it was great to have Steven right by the side where I cry, right, you know, have that breakdown. You know, that's a moment that I'm very pleased
that was a great, the whole movement of that whole scene playing out. You're riding in the car, you know, because it's not talking. I mean, you know,
right.
He's trying to say, it was me. He had nothing to do with it. You know, his last act, he wants to be a noble act.
Right.
Making sure.
Right.
And then
maybe seek revenge for what they did to my partner.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's many emotions playing right there, you know, and then, you know, being able to like, and I'm driving that car.
Yeah.
I'm really driving, and there's really cars right there. You know, we're in Mexico, and I get out of that car and I cross the street, and there are no extras, you know, and there's really traffic.
Right, you're in real traffic.
And I'm really there, you know, with my eyes like this, and I remember I'm driving, and there's some guy looking at me, and I just looked at him, you know, and it was like, and then I get out, and it's, you know, you think that they're in the movie too, you know, the real people. So those are those moments that you don't know, time kind of like, it's great. I mean, yeah.
Tell me about, back to directing. Yeah. You have a small, tiny, almost, cameo almost role in The Pledge.
Right.
Yeah. How does that happen? Sean calls you up and says...
I was in London, and he was driving on, I think he was driving on somewhere in Northern California.
Which he loved to do, drive cars. Yeah.
And he calls me up, and he, you know, Sean has been like, I said once that I felt like I had made it when I did a TV miniseries a long time ago, and I was at a party, and Sean came up to me, and he said he liked my work. And you know, in my family, we all love Sean. You know, his work in Fast Times at Richmond High, Falcon and the Snowman, at Close Range, Carlita's Way. Dead Man Walking, and then you look at his career, and it's like, you know, if there's someone to emulate, it would be Sean, in my opinion, as
the
an
best actor of his generation.
Absolutely, no
quite
doubt.
know
no
how
doubt.
wide his generation is.
And the biggest influence too. I think any young actor will talk about Sean like.
You do hear that. I mean, it's amazing about him. I don't want
Absolutely.
to flatter him too much, but there is this sense that he, for his generation, is the one they look up to.
Absolutely.
You and guys like you.
Absolutely. I mean, he's like maybe to Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, Marlon Brando.
Exactly.
You know, and to our generation, you know, Sean Penn is our Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
And who knows who Marlon Brando had, you know, probably Paul Mooney, Humphrey Bogart, Lon Chaney father. I don't know. But yeah, he is someone that you're always trying to measure yourself with the best. And, you know, if I have to pick someone, I would like to, measure myself with Sean Penn. There's no doubt.
He's very much into directing now, as you know.
Yeah, well, he's terrific.
Yeah, as you know, because you work with him. But he prefers it, finds it much more satisfying than acting. What's the satisfaction of acting for you?
Well, you know, when you're doing it, you know, it's a struggle. It's not all. I don't trust an actor or an actress that, you know, they're working on a film and they go, oh, it's all great, it's all great, it's all great. I don't know, there's something about it that I go like that. You know, I've never done a film where I felt it was all great. You're always pushing for something better. I mean, I tried to. So the satisfaction about acting is getting to those moments where you're well prepared and you're able to elevate into a place that you never thought you could get. And then, you know, having a good body of work so you can look back and just feel like you can do it, you know, that you've done it and you've done the best you can. I once read something about Hemingway where he said that he would, every time he was going to start a new book, he would read the last book he did just to realize how hard it was to write that book. And it's always hard. But it's like, you know, it's what I love too. And, you know, so, and I understand Sean, you know, going into directing. I think in directing, you know, when you're shooting the film, it's halftime. You go into play pre and, you know, after post, you know, and then you surround yourself with good talent, you know, like in The Pledge, he's got, well, Jack is fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean,
Vanessa Redgrave.
Helen
Mirren. Sam Shepard.
Robin Wright Penn.
Right.
Mickey Rourke.
Arnold Arthur. What's it for? It was I've forgotten his name, but.
Yeah. I mean, he's got, you know, Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart's what I was talking about,
you know, fantastic cast. And they, you know, all those actors, they know what they're doing.
But he called you from Europe and said, I got this part?
I was in London.
Yeah.
I was in London. He called me up and he goes, I got this part, man. You're going to love it, this and that. And I go, yeah, you know it. You know, I'll be there.
I'll be there. That's what you said. I'll be there.
Absolutely. For free. I'll do it for free.
You said that, or you just was
I
implicit?
would. I would do it for Sean Penn. I would do it for free.
Free.
And with Jack Nicholson, are you kidding me? I'll do it for free.
Yeah, some experiences are worth doing.
Absolutely.
How many people can you say that about?
I have a few.
5. You have some.
Yeah. You know.
Directors or actors that you just to be there.
Right, and you know, just to get a, you know, I'm sitting there. My first day I showed up, and I'm watching Jack working, and this is a guy who's been doing it all. And, you know, and I look at Sean, and Sean looks at me, yeah, he's here. and I'm watching Jack working, and he wants another take. He wants to do it again, and again, and again. And it's like, wow, here's a guy who's done it all, and he still is looking for that perfection, you know, truth.
Yeah. And there seems to be I know him not well, but and never been on a set, but there just seems to be a sense of vitality about the performance and the approach, as if, you know, he has ultimate respect for the craft of acting and how important it is.
Absolutely.
Perhaps that because it's the same way of Ted Williams about hitting, you know.
Right,
I mean, those that do it the best seem to have the most respect for it.
Right. And it's amazing to see it.
Because they understand the potential of it.
Right.
And the beauty of it, and
Absolutely.
the purity of it, and all those things.
And everything that comes with it. Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing to see it live.
Yeah.
You know, just to be there and see it live is like, you know, anyone can tell you about Bruce Springsteen, you know, but you have to be on that front row or in that stadium to understand. And seeing Jack working and seeing Sean working with like Aaron Eckhart and, you know, working with me and, you know.
Now, how much direction did he give you in your...
The thing with Sean, I think that, you know, I don't know, from my perspective, I might say that we have kind of like a similar process in some way. So, and I'll give you an example real quick. You know, as an actor, you got the written lines and you go out and you do it. And at some point while you're shooting the scene, you might just add something that is not written. Most directors will say, excuse me, Mr. Del Toro, can you please stick to the script? And what I'm trying to do is not that I'm trying to break the rules of the script. I'm looking for some truth. You know, you're just there. You're doing it for the first time. You're hearing the lines for the first time. You're saying the lines for the first time. And I remember I added something. And then Sean was in the back, and he goes, Benny, do that line again that I just added. Which, in my opinion, what it means is that he knows what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And he's allowing me to, like, get my footing, and then, you know, then he will say, you know, go back to the script, see how it goes.
Yeah. Enhance what you're
Exactly.
trying.
Exactly. Water the plant.
Maybe we can even make it richer than...
Right.
But your instincts are sound.
Right.
Yeah. Benny is what your friends call you?
Benny, Beno. Beno, if I hear someone calling me Beno, that means that they've known me for a long time. You know?
Beno.
Benny is kind of like as an actor, you know, and they know me. And if you hear Benicio, then it's like my fans.
The usual suspects, I want to just go back to that. The instinct to make that character's speech came from where?
Well, I read the script, and I terrific script written by Christopher McQuarrie, who I did a film called The Way of the Gun. Not many people, that recent one, not many people saw, but I think it's a good film, and it'll come back, and it'll be a cult one day. But I read the script, and I look at the character, and I go, the character has 4 scenes, and the purpose why the reason why the character was in the movie, he's the first one to die. He's the first one who everybody starts then going like, who is Kaiser Soze? Because he killed one of the bad guys, one of the tough bad guys. So I sat down with Bryan Singer and I go, you know, the only reason why I'm in this film is so I can die. Nothing that I say is really important to the plot, you know. There's some good writing, and I had seen Dustin Hoffman in Dick Tracy, and he played Mumble. And I just love what he did. So from there, I said, what if I just do this and mumble it? Because it really doesn't matter what I say. I mean, I'll say the lines, but, you know, make the audience kind of move up 2 inches closer to the screen.
Yeah, roll tape, here it is.
You want to know what your buddy Finster told us?
Say who?
McManus. He told us another story altogether.
Oh, is that the one about the hookup with dysentery?
Finster always worked with McManus. He was a real tight ass, but when it came to the job, he was right on. A smart man.
What are you saying?
I say he'll flip you.
He'll what?
Flip you. Flip you for real.
Yeah, I'm shaking. Come on.
Okay.
Answer my question.
And you hear me in the back? Hello?
Great to have you here. I hope you'll come back.
Thank you. Oh, my pleasure.
Man,
Thank you for having me.
I should make these notes. One is traffic is in theaters now. It is not only doing well, but you should see it for 1,000 reasons, not the least of which is the performances, and especially by Benicio Del Toro and the directing by Steven Soderbergh. It's getting a lot of awards because award season is here. He is also in Snatch and The Pledge, which opens in theaters on Friday, January 19th. Thanks again. Pleasure.
Thank you.